Your gut bacteria are literally rewriting your immune system's code. Everything you thought you knew about simply having a good immune system is missing the metabolism part of the picture. We used to look at static blood markers, a snapshot of what was wrong yesterday. But resilience isn't a fixed number. It's an oscillation, like tuning an engine perfectly instead of just watching the gas gauge. Your inner coherence dictates whether your cells are running efficiently or in frantic overdrive. This is about tracking dynamic internal rhythms, mapping how mitochondrial health and subtle shifts between aerobic pathways dictate if your inflammatory response becomes helpful protection or destructive chaos. We call this indexing systemic coherence, moving beyond simple disease markers to understand the energetic blueprint of true vitality. The science has moved past simply checking if a marker is high or low. We're now looking at system rhythm, how your body operates moment by moment. Think of immune cells not as simple soldiers, but like tiny engines that run on different fuels. When those metabolic cycles get off sync, the entire defense mechanism gets disorganized. This isn't just about sugar levels. It's how cellular energy dictates if our inflammation is helpful or destructive. The connection runs deep from mitochondrial efficiency to your vagal tone and even influences brain health. We are mapping this profound relationship between inner coherence and outer resilience. The real secret isn't whether your markers are high or low, it's about the rhythm of those changes, how smoothly they oscillate when things get stressful. Think of coherence like a perfectly tuned orchestra where every section is playing in sync, not just loud, but together. When that internal harmony breaks, even minor metabolics through immune cells telling them to switch gears entirely, microglial polarization shifting from calm watchfulness to hypervigilant and hypervigilant from We thought of immune markers as static snapshots, right? Like taking one photo of your system's condition. But the research shows it's far more nuanced than that. Think of coherence not like a single temperature reading, but like measuring the rhythm of an orchestra. The subtle timing and interaction between every musician matters exponentially more. This dynamic flow is what connects mitochondrial efficiency to microglial state polarization, linking cellular energy used directly to CNS signaling. But wait, some studies suggest this metabolic rigidity actually certain inflammatory states. Who's right? We need a better way to map these complex temporal shifts. And the next slide shows exactly how we start building that predictive model. It turns out your energy doesn't just fuel you, it dictates how your defenses operate. Think of metabolic health not as a static score, but like the operating system running your entire body. Is it stable or is it glitching? When that internal coherence wavers, even tiny immune signals can go haywire. The mitochondrial state sets this stage, telling cells whether to act defensively or aggressively. But here's where it gets wild. Once those metabolic checkpoints are tripped, a specific set of epigenetic regulators fires in the nervous system. But what happens next to stabilize microglial responses? That interaction is completely rewriting our understanding of resilience. We've all been told that health is about finding low numbers, low inflammation, good cholesterol. But what if those static checks miss the entire story? Imagine your internal systems aren't a broken machine. They are an orchestra trying to keep time. When one section slips out of rhythm, even slightly, the whole performance changes. That's the pivot point here. We found that coherence isn't just about having good molecules. It is about how those molecules oscillate, the dynamic timing between your mitochondria and your immune response. The simple blood test tells you what happened yesterday. But if we look at metabolic rhythmicity, we can actually map where systems are failing to sync up with their own innate clocks. And that suggests something far more fundamental is dictating our resilience than anyone thought before. We've learned that resilience isn't a fixed state. It is an oscillation, like how a finely tuned instrument maintains harmony through rhythmic breathing. If your inner metabolic engine is sputtering, running too hot or idling too low, your entire system becomes dissonant. The key shifts from merely measuring what you have to understanding the quality of the pulse itself. Start by observing coherence. Are your internal rhythms aligned? Focus on stabilizing those fundamental biological signals, allowing deep self-regulation to take hold rather than fighting static symptoms. This systemic view changes everything. The full research archive is at jmthomasofficial.com. It turns out health isn't a fixed score, it's an oscillation pattern. Think of your metabolism like an orchestra that needs to be dynamically tuned, not just played on or off. When the inner rhythms break down, everything else suffers. Immunity falters and cognition drifts offline. The real metric isn't how much inflammation you have right now, but whether your system is capable of adapting back into coherence. Start by tracking subtle shifts in your energy patterns throughout the day. That dynamic movement reveals deep self-knowledge. The full research archive is at jmthelmusofficial.com.